Good morning, pregame crew. It is Thursday, November 9th, 2023, 6:21 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:21 a.m. Eastern Time. Good morning. Welcome to the show. This is a show where I go over commodities, indices, crypto movers and shakers of the day. My goal is to get you ready for the trading day, give you setups that I like, and of course you need to vet that on your own according to your own risk management parameters. Let's do an audio visual check, please. Make sure you can hear me. Hey, Shake and Bake, happy birthday. Let's sing. Just kidding, I can't sing. Hey, Hector, Gino, Greg. Hey, Tom. Clifton, Keggers, Zen, Cliff, good day. Hey, Sam. Casey, Sir Fernando, Marvin. Hey, Topher. Basque. Hey, Nugget, KK, Andre, Ray. Oh, my little girl is on here again. Hey, my precious daughter. Hey, Jim, Kat, Mike, Matthew, Nick. Hey, Wave, thank you. Let me go back up to the top, see if there are any chart requests. Madison, if you have one, you get first dibs. You're the baby girl. Casey in London, hello. Matthew, so Matthew's asking, it feels like technically NVIDIA needs to pull back to 445 to 450. Am I crazy? I never asked that question because I already know the answer for myself. When we put our own projections on a stock, we're predicting. That is not technical analysis. Technical analysis is determining the most likely scenario. NVIDIA has news this morning. They're developing 3 AI chips specifically that fit the rules for China or whatever. You can look up the news specificity. I don't know the details, but it's positive news. And so with news, we know to ignore RSI. RSI is not as important because news can make it go higher and make it run longer than you can remain solvent. So just remember, we don't make predictions. I hear people a lot. NVIDIA has a date with $500. No, it doesn't. It also doesn't have a date with $400. It's going to do what it wants to do, and it's going to move along the path of least resistance, and it's going to bring along the least amount of traders that it can. It's going to shake off bulls, shake off bears. So just remember, these stocks, we got to stay in probability mode, not prediction mode. She is my favorite. Good morning, B-Hawk, Ryan, George. SMH 1 hour squeeze. Let's look. Yep, it has a squeeze. It's just been a slow grind up, and not even a slow grind up. It was fast back here, but it's just holding the hourly EMA, so it just stays strong until it isn't. As long as those EMAs are below supporting price, don't be a front running aggressive, super aggressive bear in this situation. Make the bears prove it. You got to make sure you have friends with you in on the trade. It's just like you going up to a whole gang of Crips and Bloods on Compton Street, and there's 50 of them. There's one of you. You don't want to take that battle. You need some numbers at least. So wait for small trend changes on smaller time frames before you front run this. When I'm looking at ES here, that is one major squeeze. You see that? And they have been consolidating in time versus price. They've just been going sideways with a slight grind up and squeezing the K-wrap out of bulls. Look at this. This could be a bearish diamond reversal pattern on NASDAQ and on the Dow on the 4 hour. But look at this squeeze. This is going to end in a trail of tears. Make sure it's not yours. Nope, Matthew, it doesn't need a lower high with a trend change for a real move. I mean, as a bull, I would want that. I would want healthy consolidation. You don't want it to just keep pushing up and then the floor fall out, but it doesn't have to do anything. And it doesn't need anything. Okay, Riot. Good morning, Al. Riot is up on crypto strength. Bitcoin was super strong overnight. You're holding the daily 50 MA here. Remember, each time we get a pop on ETF news for Bitcoin, it keeps baking in the approval. So the day it gets the approval will be a sell the news event, and it'll be my next big trade. I was very vocal about NVIDIA. ridiculously vocal about NVIDIA and what I was looking for, and I sequenced it out. If this, then that. If this, then that. So I'm telling you, I'm going to be shorting MARA, M-A-R-A, when the Bitcoin news gets approved. I'm going to wait for some bears to join me. I'm going to wait for it to pop, get a blow off top, and then I will be shorting it heavily. And I'm choosing MARA because it has dilution twice in the last 4 months. So it's positive now, and I think that we can stay in back burner mode as long as crypto is strong, but I am keeping my eye out for that news. Net. Not overbought on the daily. 4 hour, no longer overbought. This is getting a little bit of a head and shoulders look. It doesn't have a lot of pre-market volume, so you can't judge, but it's all about yesterday's low. If you forget everything I say, that's okay. I need you to remember one thing. Well, actually 3 things. Let me copy it from my notes. My notes are off screen. I copy and paste those for TCG members when I am done. So this is what I have typed out in my notes. Stay in back burner mode. If you've missed the move up, just stay in back burner mode. If the name's already had a 5-minute oversold bounce, and you wait for the 15-minute bounce. We need to make note if back burners stop working. If they don't fire bullish and they keep dropping, even though they're oversold on 5 and 15-minute, that means we got more consolidation on the way, and it means we could have weekly consolidation on the way. Make note if price breaks prior day low. Mark those lows off. Mark them off. As long as it's holding the prior day low, bulls are in charge. I could add to this and say, well, then I'm saying you got to remember more things. As long as hourly MAs and EMAs are below price, stay long. We can have simple rules like that, okay? Let me drink a little bit of my protein drink. I go over nat gas every day. I do it through futures, but I can look at UNG. Daily downtrend, not oversold. Weekly downtrend, not oversold. Monthly, 642, 636. It broke it bearish by 6 cents, but looks like bulls are trying to save that. We got nat gas inventory today at 10:30, I believe. Please confirm that, because nat gas oil inventory was supposed to be yesterday, and it didn't have it. So it didn't have inventory report. They're reporting 2 reports next week. I don't know if that impacted nat gas, so check that out. It's weak. If you want to bottom fish $6.40, knock yourself out. AZPN. I'll officially get started in 1 minute. Jobless claims are in 1 minute. This is some pretty low volume. Watch your liquidity on this. This is bearish until it's not. Snot. 161.32 is your key support. This approaching quickly. Let's go look at ES 440825. We are at this critical juncture of resistance at 4423 and 4430. And yesterday, our comment right over here during the pregame show, we were right here. I said as long as the low of the prior day, 4364, holds, we're bullish. Look at that test of the hourly 50 MA and bounce. It was beautiful. We're breaking double hourly inside bars bullish right now. Need to get over 4410 and then 4423. RSI is not overbought on the hourly. On the 4 hour we are. Daily's not even close. When daily's not overbought, you still have runway. And what I mean by runway is you have room. You have room to move higher on the hourly and the daily. So don't get caught up in RSI here, because it's fine where it is. There will be consolidation. There will be consolidation, and I want to be a part of it, but I'm not going to front run it. So what would require to front run it here? It would be a loss of 4401. That would mean a 15-minute trend change to the downside if bulls are unable to get over 4410. And so you're looking for 15-minute trend changes to the downside. Don't front run it. And always look at all your key elements. Okay, we're popping here. We're testing 4410 on jobs claims. Let's see what the jobless claims were. They were 217,000, so a little more than expected. So that's a bad news is good news thing. So let's see how they digest it. 4410 and 4423 are your main numbers on ES, and we have a lot of FOMC speakers today, and we have Fed Chair Powell speaking at 2 p.m. Eastern. Lots of bond auctions, which has also been affecting the market. So let me introduce myself. My name is Lori, pronounced with the Ori. If you want to follow me at Chartgal Lori, that'd be lovely. If you could get me to 5,000 followers, that would be a great Thanksgiving present. And I will not spam you. I'm actually terrible at Twitter. I don't post as much as I should. So I definitely won't be spamming you. And I plan on working on that next year, being much better at social media. But that's who I am. And what I do over at Chart Guys is I teach technical analysis. I give out my live trade setups. I take live trades. I post screenshots like a crazy woman on most of my trades because I want to make sure people know that I am not paper trading. So this was Starbucks yesterday. I gave out my rationale, my thesis. I took it short, stop high of day. I exited quickly, 104.69 to 104.33. I posted my entry. Got filled at 104.30, so a little bit better, favorable fill. And then I took another third off at 104.02, and I was exiting because psychological, yada, yada. This is the type of stuff that we do inside TCG. Constantly posting setups. I don't take them all, but when I do, if it's a high conviction setup, I like. It didn't expect Lori to be rapping. I don't know that I rapped, but it was an attempt. So we post setups and we post high conviction entries and exits. Okay, let's see if we can fail from 4410 and fail as in F-A-I-L. I know my accent's kind of hard to understand. And if we can break 4401, this would be step one for bears stepping in. Check mark. And then we'll be watching for back burners to see if they keep working. So according to our table, handy dandy med table, we're still majorly bullish. Over 100, we stay in back burner mode until it stops working, and Bitcoin is super bullish. Bitcoin is indicating quantitative easing is starting. The interest rate cuts. It hasn't happened yet, but Bitcoin is pricing in that, hey, we may be having some cuts happening, and the US 10-year is topping out. And Bitcoin likes both of those. So we're hoping that the high is secure now and that we continue to move down on US 10-year and TLT continues to move up. If you took that swing trade when I gave it out a couple of weeks ago, it is working beautifully. Okay, drink of water and then ES. Nat gas usually doesn't show up on the schedule here. Well, yeah, it does right there, 10:30. There it is. Okay, let's look at ES. So we do have resistance overhead at 4410, the high of overnight, 4423, and then 4430. We are not overbought on the daily, and we've got nice moving averages all stacked below us. 4-hour holding EMAs just fine. Hourly holding EMAs just fine. Step one, lose that support. As long as the low of yesterday is secure, I feel safe about remaining bullish. If you want to be aggressive, you would be shorting the loss of 4401. NASDAQ. It's so hard to talk and drink. You swallow air. Okay, so on NASDAQ, this could be a little diamond bearish reversal pattern on the 2-hour. It's a little bit more clear. You see that higher low, higher high, lower low, and then we're going sideways. So we'll see if bears can take out the low of yesterday, 1528675. As long as the low of yesterday is secure, bulls are in charge, RTY. And if you're a TCG member, if you listened to Dan's live yesterday morning, he laid out everything brilliantly. Okay, well, he's looking bearish, but wait, Apple is not participating. Wait, Meta V-shape, wait. And we kept seeing these different signs that the bulls were not rolling over, and it made him back off the bearish idea. So you have to be able to look at your context clues, which is why I do the table, all these nuances as to what is going on. Hang Seng was red overnight, by the way, and Dixie is still a little strong, but market's able to shake it off, so do you, boo. And Tesla is weak as well this morning. All right, RTY is weak. We're still looking for a daily higher low. Odds favor it, but RTY is definitely weaker than the other major three. And we're making room for a 4-hour higher low. So on the next pullback, We could possibly get a higher low compared to yesterday's low and then maybe take it higher. If we begin rotating out of tech, so the Magnificent Seven, as they call it, has been really carrying us in the market. If they decide to take a breather, go sideways to down, then we need healthcare, financials, and the Russell to step up to support price, or we could have more meaningful consolidation on the way. Okay, on Dow, we have a nice clear diamond bearish reversal pattern. Not all patterns have to confirm. It just gives us a nice heads up that, hey, this could be happening. So that is a bearish reversal pattern here on the Dow. A 4-hour lower high is possible compared to the high of yesterday at 34315. So we'll see how bulls are able to shake off. They're doing their Taylor Swift right now. They're shaking it off. They're up testing 4410 on ES. So right now, hourly EMAs are below price. So just stay long. And I shake off that 2-hour diamond bearish reversal pattern as long as bulls continue to prove it with price and keeping those EMAs below supporting price. All right, VIX. Fear has exited stage left again. Look at that deflated balloon. We have geopolitical headlines that could come out at any time with the war that could spike VIX. And also President Jimmy Carter is still on hospice. If he were to die, that could shake up the market because we would have a market closure if they do what they've done in past precedent. So we have to remember all of that. All right, Bitcoin. It broke over 37,000 and hit 37,051. Y'all see this? That's a trampoline move. You see how it just kind of dips and rips? That is a major trampoline move. We are overbought on the daily and the weekly. This is somewhat news related, so it doesn't matter as much that it is overbought. Stay in back burner mode on Bitcoin is my opinion. And Ethereum, it's not quite as strong as Bitcoin, but it's still having a very good day. I would stay back burner mode on Ethereum, but I would choose Bitcoin over Ethereum because it's stronger. Dollar has been strong. Let's see, is that? Looks like a little head and shoulders pattern, but it's just basically churning sideways right now. We are looking for a daily lower high on the dollar. You see the daily 50 MA overhead. Odds favor a daily lower high. I can only stay bearish the dollar right here, but I have to wait for it to lose the EMAs. Looks like it's going to come back right here. Gold, if the dollar can roll over and establish that daily lower high, I would like a gold long, looking for the weekly higher low. So everything else is pointing down on gold. It doesn't look good. We're not oversold on the daily. 4-hour, we're oversold. It would be such an awesome trade if daily were oversold as well, but it isn't. So I'm waiting for the dollar to roll over and look for a 5-minute trend change for a potential gold long. Oil stopped me out yesterday of my long attempt, and it is now bouncing. Bulls are attempting to set that monthly higher low. So on gold, so let's break it down. Dollar, we're looking for a daily lower high. Gold, we're looking for a weekly higher low. Oil, we're looking for a monthly higher low. Daily barely grazed, oversold yesterday and didn't quite bounce. It's getting its bounce on right now, but on most time frames, we're looking for lower highs on the higher time frame. So bears will still be looking to top fish, reverse back burner on oil, as long as this weakness remains, which it is on larger time frames. Nat gas, those upper wicks are fugly. That is bears selling into this pop. Downtrends on almost every time frame, trying to develop a daily tweezer bottom here with long lower wicks of bulls buying the dip. Got an hourly higher high, but we need a trend change. Ugh, what a nutty chart. Okay, Apple. Correct, Tess. Matt, Bitcoin is bullish because of ETF speculation and the US 10-year chilling out, which gives way to potential interest rate cuts in the future. It's multifactorial, so just remember that. Multifactorial. Apple. An apple a day keeps the bears away. We broke bull and we filled the gap. So now you're going to see about 412,000 people today talking about this megaphone. Wait, let me get this line off. Megaphones are hard to trade. They're difficult. So y'all see the megaphone here? So Apple could be finding a temporary top if it were to top out in this megaphone resistance, but I think that's too big of a guess because we don't have price confirming. So here's the thing. In order for me to trade a pattern, it must match up with the most likely scenario. Let me say it in a different way. In order for me to execute an edge, it has to match up with the most likely scenario. You could have the most beautiful head and shoulders on earth. If it does not match up with the most likely scenario, I don't want anything to do with it. In order for me to trade a pattern, it must match up with the most likely scenario. Okay, well, what's the most likely scenario? We got the weekly higher high. It's not confirmed yet. We got the daily higher high. We got the 4-hour higher high. Holding hourly EMAs. Am I going to go front run this potential 2-day megaphone? Nope. It doesn't match up with the most likely scenario. So every time you see a pattern, I get asked a million times a day, not really. Is this a cup and handle? Is this a falling wedge? Is this a rising wedge? If it doesn't match up with the most likely scenario, it is futile to assign patterns to things that don't matter. Your most likely scenario is king, queen, prince, and princess. Patterns are very, very, very much secondary and tertiary. Okay? That was a soapbox moment. I just felt it. Amazon. Monthly lower high is possible, but bulls can still get that higher high. They only retraced about 40%, so a higher high is possible. Yes, it could be a weekly megaphone forming if we get a higher high without follow through, but not trading that. Hourly, I think this one presents a unique opportunity for an aggressive bear here because you have an intraday resistance. Does that make sense? So I think Amazon short makes more sense because you have a level where you know you're wrong. So then my most likely scenario is I'm saying, okay, let me see if I can top fish an hourly lower high relative to 14255. Then I look for a pattern, a rising wedge to match up with that most likely scenario. And if I don't get it, or even better, a stair step into 142.55, reject, then let me put my stop right over it. Boom, boom. Bling, bling. Average guy, it can go up forever. It can. Way too overbought. Overbought is a condition. You can't short overbought alone. It has to be combined with other edges. And it's flawed thinking. What is the easiest way for a salmon to swim? It's with the flow of the river. Instead of going against the current, go with the current. So right now, bulls are where it's at. And yeah, it probably will stop, and it'll stop sooner than later. But again, I'm not in the predicting business. I got to have something I can work with that involves price. NVIDIA has news. It is destroying bears, just absolutely obliterating bears. So you have resistance at 47609. Everybody and their brother will be sitting there waiting on it. If you break it, I would look for a pop on a break of 47609 because you're going to force a lot of bears to cover. And this could be setting up a 2-day. Nope, never mind. That doesn't look good. This has news. Throw RSI out the window. It has news. Hello. Yeah, it's not overbought on the daily. That's what I just said earlier. It has runway. Tesla is weak. This is the dog you want to pick on today, and it has an intraday level. So you can top fish this 222 0.95 provides you an area to top fish on Tesla. So Tesla would definitely be the one I pick on of these four. ARC still has a weekly triple top. So this could be forming a 4-hour head and shoulders, which matches up with my most likely scenario, this weekly triple top potentially holding. If the market stays strong, I throw this idea out the window. I just throw it out. Be gone. This is one of the best charts out there. I am looking for first hourly oversold. You see that little alert right there? I want this sucker. This thing is a beautiful chart. Look at this high compression squeeze on AVGO. I want this long, but I can't front run it right here. I can't join the bid because it's just too pushed and extended. It could keep going, and that's okay with me. My rules say I have to wait for a pullback buy, but I love that chart. GDXJ, dang it, don't bounce without me. I'm watching this hourly stair step, boom, 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 and we just broke it bull over 33.52. We want to do that during regular trading hours, looking for a daily higher low. Yes, it was a potential NASDAQ 2 to 4 hour diamond bearish reversal pattern. The one on Dow looks a little bit clearer, but we're looking for daily higher low on these junior gold miners. If gold can hold the low 1950 area, then this idea could work, putting your stop below the low of yesterday. Okay, we're through 44.10. And then in my notes, I have Coin, Mara, and Riot. I would just keep them on back burner mode. I prefer Riot over Mara for potential longs, and I would just watch for 5-minute oversold during regular trading hours for a potential long. Yeah, AVGO is freaking stunning. That's a beautiful chart. You don't mess with this. High compression squeeze. And then we got that trampoline move. That is beautiful. Danger, danger, bears. What's 648? And I'm already done with my list. And yesterday I couldn't shut up. AMC is tanking. What am I going to use after toss? Is toss going away because Schwab bought it? I don't know. I plan on staying with toss. Yep. Tanking. Taylor Swift and Beyonce were not enough for him. I am going to show you something. That made me LOL for real. I'm going to go ahead and show her name. I don't care. Let me copy it one more time. Let me show you a fatal flaw of a trader who's going to last about 6 months in the best case scenario. So Dan was talking about the perpetual short squeeze hypothesis yesterday on the market recap show. And Anna's response, this perpetual short squeeze hypothesis is nonsense. If that were the case, GameStop and AMC would be near all-time high. No, Anna, the market is not run by AMC and GameStop. Let's look at the exposure. Stock exposure tool. Let's look at AMC. What ETF holds AMC? Have y'all heard of these? Nothing. Nothing. It has zero bearing. The market SPY has nothing to do with AMC. Nothing. Did I know this when I first started trading? No, I didn't know how to look this up, and I didn't know how to do correlations. GameStop. Nobody holds GameStop in an ETF. Nobody. It is in another ocean, another lake compared to SPY. It is a meme stock. It has dilution issues. AMC has shareage issues. And if you're going to judge the market on two names that have nothing to do with the bigger part of the market, you have missed the whole point. You have missed the forest for the trees. So these absolutes that people are holding on to will hold you back in trading. Trust me, they're going to hold you back. And I know you're probably like, I did not sign up for Soapbox today, Lori. Let go of what should happen, okay? Or what could happen, or how things should be. Trade what is. My God, just trade what is. Keep your life easy. Okay, Netflix. Netflix, a weekly lower high is still the more likely scenario on this, but with the market screaming, I mean, is this really going to sit down? And they have, Disney had subscriber growth, which I think is still positive for Netflix, because Netflix had subscriber growth, and it just shows that people are still spending their discretionary income on streaming services. So if everything else is going to keep running, then why wouldn't it run? You got runway on the weekly RSI. Daily RSI isn't overbought yet. I would be careful around 450 and 453.45, but just keep moving your stop up on hourly EMAs. Someone asked me a question yesterday, and they're like, do you use EMA crosses? I just watched your Edge video. I'm like, yeah, I'm in one right now. I was in, oh shoot, UPST? Yeah. I sent the individual this chart, and I hid my EMAs. I do this all the time, by the way. I actually had the EMAs, sorry. I had them. I was hiding the 50 and 200. And I entered long right here. There was a little double bottom. If you look at the candles, there's a little double bottom right there, 21.18, 21.25. And when these EMAs crossed, I entered long. Then I turned off the candlesticks. And I said, I'm staying in long until, as long as a trade keeper is green. And I exited here. And I got almost $1 on one scale. I use it all the time, but I make sure that my brain doesn't get super clouded by candles and wicks. It can just make you jumpy and jump out. And that's why I developed the Trade Keeper with our programmers. And it's an indicator available on our website because it keeps me in the trade and I don't get wicked out because I'm just staring at candles. This involves the ATR, Keltner channels, Bollinger Bands, and EMAs. Oh, good, average guy. Yeah, hit the like button. Thanks, Sir Fernando. Nugget, nugget, nugget. Okay, ask me another question. Anybody have a profound question or a question you need help with? Let me know right now. The next one that pops up is the one I'm going to answer. I'm going to drink some water. Somebody wants me to go over Dish. CELH has a split coming. I actually looked at that this morning. It has a split coming. It has an inside bar. These type of outside moves, that's a diamond bearish reversal pattern. Y'all see it? You see it? Be careful. Dish. Dirt. Dog. Dog. No, I'm not playing cannabis sector right now. It doesn't mean that I won't. So when you click on the candles, I switch here to lines. So you see that line, and I made my price line a black line so I don't see it. I don't want to get swayed by small price movement. I want to stay in when the trend is my friend. So I just toggle it right there. The Trade Keeper works best on all time frames. Let me go show you. Let's just go to the number one stock, ES. Let me hide the EMAs. Turn Trade Keeper on and look at that. It would have kept you up in here on the daily, had you short here and then long. Now look at it on the hourly. Look at that move. That's not one errant red dot, not one. You would have gotten in here and it would have gotten you out here on the hourly chart. Not one errant red dot saying this move is still credible. Trust it. Because it's not breaking the ATR, it's not breaking the EMAs on the mother time frame. So on shorter term time frames, you see you can still get some scalps out of it, I've used it, I'm embarrassed to admit, on the 15-second chart before when I was scalping a name that was moving fast. I've used it, but sometimes I turn my candles off. I just don't want to deal with too much noise. I know the Trade Keeper is based on 4 different principles, and it's showing me the move is still trending, and I want to stay with trends. Do I have a thought process that avoids over trading? Yes, I use poker chips. They're right here. If you want to hear them. You hear that? Hopefully that's not too loud. So I have 5 in front of me. I suggest newer traders do 3. And when I put a trade on, I move that poker chip over. And if I have a red trade, it stays over. So when I'm out of chips, I'm out of chips. How do you build confidence in your edge? Back testing. So let's say that I want to do EMAs. Let me get rid of the 50 and 200. Let's just say I want to focus on EMAs. You could just scroll out and say, okay, if I would have gone with crosses, how many times would I have been stopped out or made profit? And you just go back and look at it. You have to back test. Back test and hours in the seat or hours in front of the screen. You see it over and over and over and over. Let me show y'all Google. Google was a laggard yesterday. Did y'all see the monkey backpack trade? Over here, we had names breaking out to high of day, Apple, Microsoft, Meta, and Google was going sideways. Nope, buddy, you don't get to stay sideways. You got to squeeze. You're going to be ripping, not every time, but that's a high probability trade. If the big tech names are all breaking out to higher highs, find a laggard that's going sideways for a long. I've seen this over and over and over and over and over. The only way to get confidence is by repetition, and back test. And if you don't have confidence in your edge, don't trade real money. It's 6:58. I'm going to wrap this up. All right, that's it for me. Thank y'all for being here. Hit that like button before you leave. Give me a follow on Twitter @CharkAlLuri. Hit the notify, subscribe button. And I'm going to tell y'all a secret. We have a big Black Friday sale coming next week. It starts next Friday, November 17th. You want to participate, and we will be giving away a free historical RSI indicator with the membership. You are not going to want to miss it. And we're giving away a free course that is top secret. Okay? Y'all use stop losses.